Welcome to this week's episode of Nomads Unplugged as we travel from Melbourne to Clayton Bay on Lake Alexandrina in South Australia's Fleurieu Peninsula. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Our first stop was at Great Western, about 3 hours northwest of Melbourne, between Ararat and Storm.
Great Western Racetrack.
Beautiful. Look at that. We stayed at the Great Western Racecourse, which is right behind the Serviceton door. While in town, we ate at the Great Western Hotel, which is dog friendly and has very nice cold beer. The next day we drove on to Horsham, where we visited the Nhill Silo artwork, celebrating the life and story of Nhill. The artwork, painted by world-renowned street artist Smug, was completed in May 2023. The smaller silo, which is a flour mill, contains the black cockatoo, which is Nhill's totem. The larger silo is a dedication to Nhill, who lived an extraordinary life and achieved much. His life was marked by outstanding achievement and leadership, but was marred by significant loss and grief. He was celebrated for his role in finding the Cooper Duff children in the Lost in the Bush story, and for his part in the first Indigenous cricket tour of England. In 1844, when he was about 10 years old, Nhill encountered two European squatters in search of a sheep run in his country. This was his first exposure to the white man. Nhill's expertise as a tracker was well known. He was working as a boundary rider at Mount Elgin Station in the winter of 1864, when a frantic father rode through the night seeking help to find his three young children lost in dense natty-muck scrub. For 8 days, 36 men had searched fruitlessly, and now torrential rain had obliterated the children's tracks. The next day, Nhill led the search with two other Aboriginal trackers, at times crawling and then running over his familiar country, as he discerned the children's movements and exhausted condition. With ingenuity and unerring accuracy, he found them lying among saplings, barely alive, just before sunset. As a reward for his efforts, he received £15 and was dubbed King Richard. 4 years later, he was selected as one of 13 Aboriginal men from Western Victoria to form the first Australian cricket team to tour England. In 1883, his enduring fame as a tracker led to an urgent request to trace a toddler who was lost in Yenapi scrub despite 2 days of searching. With sharp eyes and intuition, Nhill soon tracked the tiny footprints and found the little girl lying down 6 miles from home. He died of bronchitis at Ebenezer on the 26th of August 1886. We continued on from Horsham via Nedimuck and Mount Arapiles, Goroke, Kaniva, Serviceton on the border of South Australia, before heading to Keith for our second night. New Zealand-born artist Geoffrey Carron worked closely with the Goroke community and Shire Council to develop the concept for the Goroke Silo Art. The 900 square metre mural depicts a kookaburra, magpie and galah in front of a Wimmera landscape. Both the kookaburra and magpie are more than 10 metres high. The native birds are significant to the town and region, and the word Goroke is the local Aboriginal word for magpie. The mural was completed in late 2020 and took 7 weeks to complete. The Kaniva Silo Art was completed in late 2020 and depicts an Australian hobby falcon along with scented sun orchids to the left and salmon sun orchids to the right. These orchids flower between September and November, and they generally only open on warm, humid days. The design is a tribute to native flora and fauna found in the nearby Little Desert National Park. The Little Desert derives its name from the mostly sandy soils that are unsuitable for farming, and the fact that it is little compared with the big desert to the north of Kaniva. Construction on the Kaniva silo commenced in January 1939 and was completed within the same year with a capacity of 2,950 tonnes. The Kaniva Silo was in use until 2014, when it was replaced by the GrainCorp Receival Centre located at Lillymuir, which has the capacity to handle 120,000 tonnes, or the equivalent of 40 silos. David Lee Pereira is a Melbourne-based studio and mural artist. He and friend Jason Parker painted for over 200 hours straight through the elements and the cockatoo attacks, using 400 litres of paint to create this tribute to the Little Desert. Kaniva also has a sheep art trail. An easy 900-metre walk, it features 41 sheep and 2 dogs running from the Silo Art through the main street to the wetlands and fauna park. Each sheep tells a story and links to a place or community group. Each sheep has a name, and a tiny windmill has been hidden on each one.
Got a two-tongue weight to my hairline, to my backbone, and it's dragging me around, but I don't listen. All your critics on red, mind your own business. That's right. Better run red lights. Now watch me fly. Got an angel to my left, devil to my right. We're going down. Hit the road, Jack. Won't come back, no. You can tie me.
Hey Fergie, what do you call wallabies that grow up on a farm? They're wallabies.
Got an angel to my left, devil to my right. We're going down.
Creating Coonalpyn is about securing a future for Coonalpyn. The young children featured on the Viterra Silos mural by artist Guido van Helten are students from the local primary school. They represent hope for the future. The children are in various poses, with 2 children looking to be actually drawing onto the face of 2 of the silos.
And just like that, you're going down for heaven's gate.
The Coonalpyn silos were the first silos to be painted in South Australia. They were painted by world-renowned large-scale mural artist Guido van Helten, who was given full creative license to create what he believed would best reflect community spirit, culture and local identity. The South Australian Government offers a free ferry crossing of the Murray at 12 different locations, from Lirrup, which is just south of Renmark in the north, to Wellington in the south. The service, as I say, is free. It takes about 5 minutes in line, then you drive onto the ferry and 5 minutes of crossing. There were signs saying that there was weight limits, but the car and caravan are considered separate, so we were fine.
You remember I asked you to meet in the middle. Now I'm here all alone again. You remember I call you. You were talking in riddles. Now you're lying to me again. You think I'm going crazy, but I'm not missing you. I only miss the illusion you pretended to be. I'm not acting crazy. I just said we're through.
Hey Fergie.
Baby, you get
Hello.
hard. What about trust? What about all this time you looked in my eyes, babe? What about
And over there, beyond the boat, is High Marsh Island.
So that's about 500 metres away. As far as the crow flies, it'd be about a 40-kilometre drive, which is amazing. It's very keen in this wind and rain, wind and rough water. Very keen. The river system around Clayton Bay is part of the larger Murray-Darling Basin. After 25,000 years of Indigenous occupation, it was 1844 before the first white settlers arrived. But it wasn't until the 1950s until holiday shacks started to appear at Clayton Bay. See that colour? Here I am in Strathalbyn, about an hour southeast of Adelaide. Just looking here at this really nice statue of Ken Blake, who won the Australian national titles 11 times and ended up dying in an accident in the Isle of Man. This is really sad. Anyway, great bit of art, reusing all this old metal. Come on, Jackson! No fear, right? Up at Nhill Aviation Heritage Centre, just having a walk around now. This was a Air Force training facility during the Second World War, so that's the side of the hospital just there. There was a dental hut just here. Not much to see of that. And over here we've got where the chapel and chaplain's office was. So I'll continue this little walk around. I mean, it's not nothing much to show there, but a few places looks like it is. It's the town of Nhill in the distance. See, there's one van over there. All this space. The Sun, the Heritage Centre, a van there. Another van. A couple of little tiny motorhomes, another van, and our van is over in the distance. So there's hardly anybody here. It's just great. Wanted to get a little video, add this into the video so you can see how big this whole place was. I've just walked past here, so that chapel must have been all the way over there in those trees. Notice the planes at the top of the picture and the 5 bellman hangars, one of which you're about to see and the only one remaining. season 2. Great show. Okay, it's just started. He's sort of between those two like runway markers. And he's just got airborne. Yep, there he goes. So this is the parade ground, which is a really open space at the end of the runway, but this is the flagpole. This is Fergie. So this is the sergeants' and officers' ablutions blocks, or what's left of them. And then the sergeants' housing was over here. But interestingly, in the background is these sheds. And I think they're full of ducks, because Love Duck has a large duck processing facility in Nhill, and I met a farmer once who had a shed that was used for the breeding of, the growing of duck chicklets. So I reckon that's ducks. Don't know if you can hear them. There's a lot of water churning through there. There's a bit of quacking going on. How is that echo? It's amazing. Hello? Well, that's it for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.